All right. Shit. What's up, niggers? This is gonna be a fun one. So I'm going through my fucking eBay. Yeah, I got those. Got that. Didn't get that yet, and got that. Got that. Got that. Didn't get that. Holy shit. $457. Nigger, you're fucking crazy. Got that. Paid. Order details. This is all prepay shit. You know what I'm saying? Paid Captain America #2. Fucking look at this shit. Yeah, I got that. Exactly. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go over to YouTube's. I'm already watching this awesome fucking video, but what we're going to do is we're going to go to my watch later is like fucking 242 videos. That's fucking super insane. We're gonna go. Yeah, I know, right? It's gonna be a Tom watch along. Because I honestly, the title intrigues me, but I don't know. What are we gonna do with this motherfucker? I have no idea. We're gonna have fun. We always have fun, don't we? Don't we always just kind of have fun? Yeah, I know. It's like, what the fuck? You have unwatched Joe Rogans. It's like, yeah, I know. Let's find this guy. Yeah, here it is. What is the sinister tradition? Now, normally when somebody uses those words in the same fucking sentence or whatever, they're talking about the ONA. I don't know what this guy's getting ready to say, but I'm going to watch it anyway. So here we go.
Sinisterism is about finding the primal aspects of the left-hand path, primal in history, primal in the psyche, thus obtaining
Sinister
truth.
is just Latin for left, by the way. Are we going to do the Odin thing again? The guy say, give me the fucking copyright. I'm kidding. I should be watching the Black Phone too, but here we are. Tom Leroy video. I have no idea what any of this means. I'm clueless. I'm stupid.
Now, I have many interests, and the one that seized my attention of late is traditionalism. I've brought up traditionalism more than once on this channel, both overtly and covertly. And when I say tradition, I'm not talking about Thanksgiving, baseball, and apple pie. I'm talking about something much deeper, much more profound.
No, it's Thanksgiving, football, and apple pie. But you were saying?
What is traditionalism, you may ask?
Baseball is gay.
The generic definition would be the belief that there's a primordial divine order, the tradition, that reflects the transcendent, eternal truth underlying all authentic religions and spiritual practices.
That's bullshit.
It's a return to a sacred hierarchy, not just socially, but metaphysically.
Bullshit.
This philosophy, even though some would argue if it is truly a philosophy, was codified by the mystic René Guénon in the early part of the 20th century.
Never heard of him.
It was also practiced by someone many occultists might be familiar with, Julius Evola.
Yeah, I know that guy.
And contemporary traditionalists would be the Russian intellectual Alexander Dugin and Trump's buddy, Steve Bannon. Kind of.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say
also,
kind
this
of.
is important. Traditionalism is not the same
you went
as
on, you went on a
fascism.
turn there, nigga.
All right? They're two very different things. Now, Evola did dabble in the original Italian fascism until he realized that it had very little to do with tradition and was simply another byproduct of modernity.
Hold on, Tom. Where's the part where you get to the ONA? Just asking.
Now, Traditionalism's key points are stuff like man's goal is reintegration with the divine, not self-deification. The ego must be transcended, not glorified. The cosmos is ordered, hierarchy is sacred, and society should mirror the cosmic hierarchical
That kind
system
of sounds right-hand
that
path
is
to me,
priest,
buddy.
warrior, merchant, and peasant. This caste system is also reflected in the idea of the ages, or yugas, beginning with the golden age of the priestly caste. The priestly caste is not just a social role, but a spiritual principle that represents the highest order of human existence. Next is the silver age of the warriors. Then the bronze age of the merchants, the iron age of the peasants, or commonly known in esoteric circles as the Kali Yuga.
I actually think that's a false, description, but whatever. I'm not going to fucking argue, because
And it's believed that that's where we are today,
you know what I'm saying? I think
roughly
you're wrong, but who cares?
6,000 years ago. But just as there are fractals within fractals, there are aeons within the greater ages.
Did you steal that from me?
Meaning that there were time periods when there were many golden, silver, bronze, and iron ages within the greater yugas.
No, there's just reality.
An example would be back 4,000 years ago with the Aeon of Aries and the rise of Greco-Roman cultures, an age of master morality and a return to the sacred order. An age tainted, though, with the invention of democracy. Then 2,000 years ago came the Aeon of Pisces with the ascension and descension of the Christ current, an age that brought us holy warriors.
This is, one of those analyses that I find somewhat problematic, and it has to do with the, the precession of the equinoxes. So we go through the age of this, the age of this, the age of this. And it's always in reverse order. But do you really think that's how the universe is constructed? I think that's just a nominal thing. I think that's just like we put words on a label, That's just my opinion, but we can go ahead with
Knights in shining armor. It did give rise to the Renaissance and the Enlightenment, though, both seen by the traditionalists not as progression, instead taking us further away from the sacred order by making us materialistic in more ways than one. Thus, this period can be seen as not only as the silver age of the warrior, but also the bronze age of the merchant caste.
I have a video I can send you, and you would not want to be in that place. And finally,
with the Aeon of Aquarius and the rise of Leviathan, we have the age of the peasant caste, with society's emphasis on the...
Hold on, this is gay. The age of Leviathan. Let that shit go. Your aeonic judgment is incorrect. I'm just going to say that. I've said it many times before. I'm going to say it again. The Aeon of Leviathan? No. Sorry, buddy. That's not the way it works.
Downtrodden and marginalized. Now, how did this all begin? What are the roots of tradition, and why is the priestly caste on top? Well, even though it's been said by some that Ganon did not mean for...
Nigger, the roots... And this is probably going to be hard for you to understand because, well, I don't know if you have kids. I don't know if Lisa has kids. I don't ask questions, but I have kids. The root of tradition is basically your kids. Your, what do you want to call them? Progeny? I have zero idea.
Yugas to be interpreted from a historical perspective. We're going to try it anyway.
People used to have 15 kids.
It could be that within small Neolithic tribes, one person could have filled the role of both shaman and leader, especially if the sacred was deeply...
fucking shaman and leader? No, that's not the way that works. I can't believe this guy gets so much wrong.
Woven into everyday life. That's an important aspect right there. The more a society is connected to the sacred, the world of spirit, if you will, the more important the position of
What does
priest
that
or
even
shaman
mean?
would be. And as a
No,
society
no,
drifts
no,
away
no. Okay, whatever. Yeah,
from the sacred, the
fine.
eternal, and the transcendent, becoming more materialistic, as in finding reality only in 3 dimensions, the further down the hierarchy it falls. Okay, some of you might be thinking, Thomas Leroy, you become a traditionalist. Now, wait a second, my friends. You may have noticed that traditionalism, with its light, transcendence, sacred kingship, obedience to divine laws, and so on, corresponds to
I
the
hate
right-hand
labels.
path.
Labels are
One could say
retarded.
it is, in many ways, antithetical to sinisterism. For those of you new to this channel, sinisterism, besides connecting with the primal aspects of the left-hand path, is the belief that divinity is to be created or realized within the individual through transgression, will, and becoming. It values self-deification, the conscious shaping of one's own destiny through darkness, opposition, and personal gnosis.
To be honest, that sounds kind of weird. Like, how would that be the definition? I don't get it, really.
We believe the cosmos is amoral. Order and chaos are tools, not masters. The goal is
Order and chaos have nothing to do with morality. And yes, morality is entirely subjective. We all get that part. Go ahead, you were saying?
apotheosis, to become a god, not to merge with one. The ego is refined and exalted, not dissolved. And we believe that transgression and confrontation with darkness.
The thing that I think you don't recognize, Tom, is that both sides do the same thing. It's just one side is on the, front of the mirror and the other side is on the back. I think that's what you really don't get, and it's kind of funny because you're Omegas after all. You should know this.
Are transformative.
Yeah, sure.
So, where the goal in traditionalism is union with the sacred order, in sinisterism, it's self-deification through transgression and individuation. Traditionalism seeks reunification with the eternal,
Teach
while
me how those are two
sinisterism
different
seeks
things. I think they're the
dominion
same
within
thing.
eternity. But even though they're
Just viewed
metaphysical
through a different
opposites, they
lens.
mirror each other in their rejection of modernity. But don't get me wrong, as I've said before, I like the fact we have antibiotics and indoor plumbing, but I despise what the Western world has become at its core. It's a dystopia filled with nihilistic, reanimated cadavers waiting for that next dopamine fix. A world of mediocrity, nihilism, and Nietzsche's last man. So yeah, you can say we and the traditionalists share that in common, but where we differ greatly is that they believe in submission to the sacred, while we believe that rebellion will lead us toward godhood.
There's no we, there's only I.
So,
but whatever.
Could there be a sinister traditionalism,
that's kind of your point,
of the depth and metaphysical discipline of traditionalism with the individualistic transgression of the left-hand path? Why not? Now, this isn't...
Look, bro, slow down. You're making all these videos where all you do is fucking post these, like, sinister pictures of people doing weird shit. And it's like, there's no point to that. Is there? I don't know. I don't think there is.
couldn't be Satanism
Just
dressed
my
up in the
opinion.
language of Ganon or Evola, nor simply traditionalism with a dark aesthetic. Instead, it's the realization that the dark, dissolving, and adversarial forces of existence, those rejected by the right-hand path, also have a sacred role in the unfolding of being.
I
Where
reject
most
all of your
traditionalists
categories.
would see
I
the
think all of your
left-hand path
categories
as
are false, bro.
degeneration, the sinister traditionalist sees it as an initiation through descent, that divinity can be realized through the self rather than submission to a
Well,
divine
the ladder
order.
goes up, but the ladder also goes down. Okay,
Thus,
congratulations.
transgression,
You figured
shadow
that
work,
out.
and confrontation with the chaos are methods of awakening. It's a path that goes inward toward individuation and apotheosis. Where the traditionalist maintains the cosmic order, the sinistrist tests, destroys, and renews it.
Like I said,
To
the
the
mirror.
sinistrist, the Kali Yuga is
Are you
not
looking
just
in or looking
decline,
out?
but an alchemical descent.
Wow, alchemy. Awesome.
Where the traditionalist believes it's important to be of the solar, of the sky father, of
I
vertical
don't give
ascent.
a fuck what anybody
we
thinks.
are of the lunar, of the dark gods of chthonic descent. We are not of the light, but of the dark absolute of the abyss.
Yeah, sure, buddy.
And that which rises up from its depths. In conclusion, my friends, it would be a good idea for the sinistrous initiate to explore traditionalist themes in order to broaden their horizons.
I'm somewhat disappointed. I know you're not entirely done yet, but I'm disappointed that when you bring up traditional sinisterism, that you're not talking about the ONA. But go ahead.
Education,
You were saying?
especially knowledge of the ancient ways, is paramount. You would be surprised what can aid you on your path. But just remember that the traditionalist seeks to surrender to the sacred order within the primordial light. Their philosophy
I don't
is of
believe
the
in your
right-hand
categories.
path.
I reject all of your
While the
categories. How about
sinistrist
them apples?
accepts the alchemical rites of self-overcoming within the primordial darkness.
Why is the darkness primordial?
Until next time.
Tom, brother, I love you, man. But that had to be one of the weakest fucking videos you've made in a long time. Oh, Lord Jesus Christ. Yeah. Brother, you know, that's not the way we look at it. There is no battle. There is no fundamental, like, how should you say, discourse between these two objects that you identify. Because, for example, you have eyes that can see light. That's not what we're really talking about. At least, I don't think we are at a fundamental level. I think we're on a deeper level than that. But anywho, yeah, fun. Yeah, Tom, watch along. Dog, we can have all the fun all the day and just be done with it. Because, yeah, we're going to have to be done with it.
Do a huge circle around you and take video. This thing goes so far up that it'll disappear in the